The Trolls World Tour, tell me about it.
Well, it's my favorite job. It's what I like to do, just voiceover, being a fun giraffe that poops cupcakes. I've been doing it since the original movie, and I also do the TV show, and I do the live tour, and I do the anything that I won't let this character go.
Why do you like being a giraffe?
First, it's very easy. I get to just be me. I don't have many voices. It's just me excited or me very sleepy. And so I just get to be myself, and then they give me a fairly solid check, and my son loves it, and so that's the best.
How would you describe the Ron Funches brand of comedy?
Thank you for asking, Larry.
Okay, how would you describe it?
I describe it as optimistic and sharp, very fun, trying not to harm anyone, but never being like soft, never being the person that shies away from harsh topics. But I don't like to just come out of my way to just talk about things I hate or to just bring up the same topics or bring up politics.
Well, give me an example in stand-up. What do you talk about?
What do I talk about? I talk about my family. I talk about my son, the fact that I'm a single dad of a son with autism, and I've been raising him on my own for the past 8 years, and I talk about the fun and joy and the silliness that comes from that. I talk about my food addiction issues, the fact that I lost like over 100 pounds in the last few years, and I still struggle with it. I got a lot of topics. I got a lot of things to pull from.
You find fun and joy in autism?
Yes.
Tell me how.
Oh, because it's so different. It's so, it allows me to look at the world in new ways. It allows me to see through a lot of things that are old traditions or just BS that I put up with that my son sees through right away, like Santa Claus being a big example. One year, he just saw that there was a present out for him and he wanted it. And I was like, no, you have to wait. You have to wait. Christmas is coming. You have to wait for Santa. And he just took it in and he just goes, that's dumb. And I was like, you're right, that's dumb. I bought these toys. Why am I letting that imaginary fat man get all the credit?
You like stand-up the best?
Mm-hmm. I do love stand-up the best because you get the most immediate reaction. There's the less barriers. You don't have to audition to be a stand-up. You can just
do you have a favorite city?
I mean, I love Portland, where I started. That's one of my favorite places to perform because I think the audiences are very smart,
young,
very learned. Yes, very young, very weird. Those are my favorite things. But Boston, Denver, San Francisco. I went to a city in Alabama I really had a great time in recently.
Is there any city you don't care if you never see again?
San Antonio, Texas.
Really? Oh. San Antonio's a pretty city on the water there.
That's what they say. I like the Spurs. I like their coach, but I do not like the town. I do not like what they like comedy-wise, and apparently they don't like me. So.
What do you like about voice acting?
I like how silly I get to be. I like how childlike I get to be. I like that I get to, a lot of people would say it's easier than acting, but I don't think it is. I think
it's different.
It's different. It's definitely different. You have to lose a lot of self-importance and a lot of taking yourself seriously. You have to really put yourself into, like, I'm a giraffe pooping a cupcake.
And you don't have body movement, do you? I mean, or do you imagine body movement?
I move quite a bit in the booth. I probably move around more than most people. They have to keep reminding me to stay on the microphone.
Do you shoot seeing the film, or does that come after you shoot, after you record?
Usually after we record, we usually just shoot to script, and then they'll come back with some animatics so that we can see some rough drafts, and then we'll do it again in case I want to improvise some things before there's a picture lock and, you know, they can't really move around.
Why do people like Trolls so much?
Oh, for so many reasons. A, it's beautiful. It is a beautiful cartoon and it's well done graphically. It's also just a great message of just being yourself and being different and being weird, and that we're all different and it's okay to be that.
You're also a voice on Harley Quinn, right? Mm-hmm. What do you do on that?
I'm King Shark. It's the same voice.
So King Shark is also a giraffe.
He's a shark man who is also royalty, and he likes to murder a lot more than Cooper, but those are probably the only
Harley Quinn murders people?
Yeah, most definitely she does. Are you not familiar with Harley Quinn?
I've not seen Harley Quinn.
Oh, you gotta get involved.
He's a criminal.
Harley Quinn is a lady, first of all. She's off and on Joker's girlfriend, and then sometimes she's on her own. She gets her own crew and she murders people.
And who are you?
I'm one of her henchmen. I also run the tech department.
You got an interesting life, Ron.
I do. I agree with you.
Is stand-up still number one?
Stand-up is number one, but I think acting is nipping at its heels.
Why do you like it so much?
There's something about just like being in here. I like that there's walls, but then there's no ceiling. And so I know it's fake. And I like it when things let me know that they're fake, as opposed to most of the world that pretends to be real, but is not.
Wow. You were raising a child with autism, who's how old now?
He is 16.
When did you first discover it?
Well, there was indications that he was growing pretty normally up until 2 years old, and his speech started to regress. And we at some point also thought he might be deaf because he wasn't listening to anything. But on occasion, if a theme song of his favorite cartoon would play, his head would rip around. So we're like, oh, he's not deaf. He can hear certain things.
Does he watch his father?
Yeah. He watches some things I do. I usually think he doesn't care for me, but sometimes he lets me know he does. He doesn't like my stand-up, though.
Does he like your sense of humor?
Sometimes he does, yes. He knows that he comes from a funny family. He likes the things that it provides for him. He definitely thinks he's funnier than me, for sure, and he's probably right.
You come from a funny family?
Yeah, my mom is hilarious.
Is she?
Yeah, she's always been very outspoken. She's probably the one that I get my humor from and also my drive from. She's always told me, my first day of school, she's like, some people are going to like you for who you are, some people aren't. Gravitate towards the ones that do. The rest, forget about them. Just be yourself. And that's stuck with me.
Where'd you grow up?
Chicago, south side of Chicago.
Great city.
I built it myself.
Okay, tell me about this weight loss.
Okay.
How much did you weigh?
I weighed 360 pounds at one point at my heaviest. That was my heaviest, and I'm currently around 230, so that's like 130 pounds.
You don't look it. You look slimmer than that.
Thank you so much. I'm still working on it.
What method did you use to lose weight?
I just stopped eating the things that I enjoyed, and I started doing a bunch of things that I hated. So I just started working out a bunch, seeing a trainer, started drinking a lot of water, and stopped eating a lot of Philly cheesesteaks.
Well, you were a success with the weight.
Yeah.
What inspired you to lose it?
The success, that and my own health. My mom, again, she let me know one time when she came to visit that she didn't like buying me clothes in like a 3X size, that it made her feel bad as a mom. And just the opportunity, the fact that I was doing well with the weight and would not really knowing much about acting, and I was like, oh, if I take care of my health, if I take care of my body, if I take care of my skills and go to class and really put forth an effort, how far can I push this?
You don't do politics in your act, right? Why not? I mean, it's prevalent anyway. Look, you got an impeachment trial going on.
Yeah, it's probably bad for my career not to, but it's just better for my own mind and my soul to not, because it wouldn't be honest. I'm not a person that's...
You're not political.
No, I don't watch most news. I know you. I'm familiar with you. But like other people I'm not familiar with. I don't know much about politics, and I don't think it's right for me to talk about it. And most of the comedy I see, they're aiming at to be agreed with when you write politically. And I don't care if you agree with me.
You're known as a positive comic, right? How do you keep that upbeat sense of humor when there's so much negativity in the world?
Well, that's when you need it the most. It's easy to be positive when things are going well. That's a coward. It's much, braver to be happy and to be optimistic in the face of things that don't appear to be great. And so I think that's my job. I think that's when it's needed. I think this is when my comedy is at its best. You can go get political comedy from 90 million other comics.
Before you go out on stage, as they're introducing you, do you have them right then? Do you have the audience right then, or must you earn it?
If the set's going to be great, if I'm going to kill, I have them right then. I know a set's going to go well if I step out on stage and before I've said anything, they're already laughing. If I just do hi. If I say hi and they start laughing, I'm like, oh, this is going to go great.
Because many people think you still need a minute or two to get them to laugh. You got them laughing right away.
Yeah.
So you have a built-in audience.
Well, I think it's like they say, you can either just tell great jokes or you can just be a funny person who says funny things. I think I'm a funny person. I think that just happens in my life. If I just am living, most of my life is just me getting into misunderstandings and not knowing how to speak. The only place that I'm truly comfortable a lot of times is on stage or on set.
How much of your humor is truthful?
80%.
So you don't have to invent a lot.
No, I've been very lucky in the life that I've had.
You talk about your mom?
I talk about my mom quite a bit, yeah, because our relationships changed a lot. A lot of things just changed in our whole life. We used to be very poor. She's a single mom taking care of us. She was in an abusive relationship in Chicago, and it's gone to the point where, she didn't want me to be a comedian. She didn't believe that I would make it. I had already had my son. He was 2 years old when I started, so she was definitely afraid.
Doesn't your son have a mother?
Yeah, he does, but I'm the one that takes care of him.
You're raising him?
I have sole custody of him, yes.
And do you like that? Not a lot of pressure?
Yes, it is a lot of pressure, but I like pressure. I was just listening to a podcast today where it said pressure is a privilege. The pressure is an opportunity. The fact that put it on me. That's what stand-up is about. Put it all on me. I don't need another team. I need myself. I believe in myself. So it helps me to motivate me, helps me go to the gym, it helps me to go to acting class, because knowing that I'm not just doing it for me, I'm trying to set up my son for after I'm gone.
Do you make fun of yourself?
Oh, yeah. You have to.
Self-deprecating, you have to.
Yeah, but I've never been that into putting myself down. I will tell you about some choices that I've made. I will tell you about my struggles with my eating addiction, but I don't believe in that type of humor, just putting yourself down and lowering yourself for an audience, because that's always just saying, hey, please like me. Here's a bad thing about me that I think will let you accept me. When just from the way I was raised or moving around a bunch, I don't care if you accept me. Here are my stories. Here's what I'm doing. Get on board or not.
Never miss a beat. Subscribe to Larry King Now and watch new episodes every day.